Hello and welcome back to our history class. Let us continue Unit 2, Chapter 1 of our history lesson, Forest Society and Colonialism. Today let us discuss the shifting cultivation and changes in the forest society under colonialism. Let's see what is the meaning of shifting cultivation. The shifting cultivation or Swindon agriculture is the traditional method of cultivation practiced by the tribes living in the mountain regions of Asia, Africa and South America. It is known by different names as harding or tangnia in Southeast Asia, milpa in Central America, tavi in Africa. In India, it is known by different names. In Northeast India, it is known as the zoom, and in Manipur, it is called the palm loaf. It is also known as slash and burn system of agriculture. It takes a long process of about 9 to 10 months of a year. It starts with clearance of a portion of the forest by cutting down the trees or bamboos which are left to dry. Then they are burned into ashes. The ashes are collected and scattered in the fields. Then the bundling of the agricultural fields on the hill slopes with the felled and half-burnt trees is done. This is done in order to prevent the washing away of the fertile soil during rains. The cleared plots are dug up by the hoe and the paddy seeds or other crops are sown in the field. The sown plants are weeded 2 or 3 times. The harvest is done in September or October. The plot of the shifting cultivation is abandoned for several years and left as fallow lands which are overgrown with trees in a cycle of 5 to 10 years. Here, fallow lands, in our mother tongue it is called lautul. Shifting cultivation requires a large area for this cycle of the agricultural fields. The shifting cultivation is a wasteful form of agriculture. With the increase of population and decrease in the number of years for the rotation due to the non-available of land, the shifting cultivation is no longer profitable. But it continues to give the sustenance to the tribal forest dwellers. Even now, a large number of tribes practice this form of agriculture. The forests are destroyed by this form of agriculture. The land has become scarce, the forests are denuded, the fertility of the soil has degenerated and the productivity has decreased. The shifting cultivation is uneconomical now. Alternatives to shifting cultivation have been suggested. States have started the Zoom control program for the rehabilitation of the tribal cultivators and to prevent the deforestation and degeneration of soil. Next, let us discuss changes in the forest societies under colonialism. The forest areas of the world have been disappearing fast. It is estimated that since the 18th century, 13.9 million square kilometers of forest, which is roughly 9.3% of world's total land area, were cleared for industrialization, agricultural purposes, pastures, and collection of fuel wood. And the disappearance of the forest, known as the deforestation, has been going on for several centuries. It became more extensive during the colonial period. The decrease in the forest area was caused by the increase in population, who cleared the jungles for cultivation and exploited the forests for the industrial purposes. During the colonial period, agriculture expanded. The colonial power encouraged the plantation of industrial cash crops like the jute, sugar, wheat, cotton, and tea. The colonial government thought that the forests were unproductive and more forests were to be bought under agriculture to earn more revenues. They thought that the expansion of agriculture was the sign of progress, so more forest areas were cleared for agriculture. The shipbuilding industries for the navy and maritime shipping in England required good timber, and the trees in the forests of India were cut for supply to England. The railways from the middle of the 19th century required more timber. The railways were to be developed for the expansion of the colonial trade and commerce, and for the movement of the colonial troops. Wood was also required for the fuel and sleepers for the railway tracks. The government gave the contract to the individuals to supply the trees of the railways and shipping companies. The forest contractors cut down the forests along the railway lines. The colonial government took over the forest land and gave permission to the planters to start tea plantation. With this, let us conclude our class for today. Thank you.